Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and craziest side of tech available on the interwebs. I'm your MC, Ray McNeil. Coming up on the program today, take a look at the production version of the PAL V Liberty flying car. With Siren, the Unreal Engine blurs the line between CGI and reality. And happening in this week's What The, Miami police are looking for a man who stole a neighbor's peacock. That and a whole lot more coming up on your weekly tech update next. Hi everyone, Sony is beta testing their very own virtual theater room called Theater Room VR. I know, quite inventive, isn't it? Which allows users to watch video content on a large virtual screen, possibly with your friends. This is similar in comparison to how big screen works on the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift. Sony wants their users to experience a virtual theater of their very own. Theater Room VR is an application where you can enjoy video content such as movies, animation, and much more in a large screen theater in a virtual space. That comes from a PlayStation rep. In the future, Sony aims to develop various services and contents through the application, they said. They will conduct this beta test twice in total. PlayStation will be beta testing Theater Room VR starting December 13th with a popular anime movie in Japan that many people would enjoy on a virtual big screen. You can apply to join the Theater Room VR beta testing if you meet the qualifications. That means you have to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber, own a PlayStation VR headset, and live in Japan. You also have to agree to the terms and conditions. There will be 1,000 users chosen for each movie screen. If this becomes a successful beta testing, well, Sony thinks that they will bring over Theater Room VR to all PlayStation VR users around the world. Sony owns their own movie production studio, so it would make sense to have a platform to distribute their movies in virtual reality. Sony Pictures owns the rights to movies such as Spider-Man: Homecoming, The Dark Tower, Blade Runner 2049, and many, many more. I've been waiting for a flying car, well, ever since I saw Jetsons as a little kid. Flying cars aren't as out of reach as you might think. There's the PAL V Liberty, for instance. It's a real physical thing that you can see and touch right now, and was recently shown off in all its glory at the Geneva Motor Show in Switzerland. The production version of the aerocar, known as the PAL V Liberty, looks like more car than aircraft, though it feels like something that you might expect to find at a super specialist racing circuit rather than on the road. The narrow body features two side-by-side seats up front, a tricycle-like design, and a rotor which unfolds mounted to the top for the flying bit of the equation. The car features a dual-engine design, using one for the road and one for the air, and it's actually based on a classic style of aircraft design called a gyroplane, which is a proven way of navigating the skies. On the road, it has a 100 horsepower engine with a max speed of 100 kph, that's about 60 miles an hour, and can travel up to 1,300 kilometers. In the air, well, you can go as fast as 180 kilometers per hour with a 200 horsepower engine. Both engines run off the same fuel tank though, which means the 100 liters or 26 gallons of onboard fuel is only going to get you about 400 kilometers in the air. Still, that's pretty good for a vehicle you can fit into a shop. Maybe not a home garage. And considering you can travel at 3,500 meters or about 11,000 feet, you won't have much traffic to deal with. The PAL V Liberty is also actually certified to fly under both the EASA in Europe and the FAA in the US, and it complies with road safety regulations too. You'll still need a pilot's license to fly the PAL V Liberty, and it needs a small airfield or airstrip to take off and land from. It converts from flying to driving mode and vice versa in between 5 and 10 minutes, however, so as long as you have the room, it won't take you long to go between modes. Pricing for the PAL V starts at $400,000. So aside from being qualified, you'll also need considerable bank to participate. The company hopes to be able to begin handing over keys to its first pre-order customers in 2019 once all its certifications are complete. When he was in school, Michael Higson created a Braille computer terminal so he could study like all the other students. Fresh out of college, he worked on the development of the Kurzweil reading machine for the blind. That was the first commercial text-to-speech machine for the visually impaired. He's used white canes and guide dogs, voice controls on his smartphone, and virtual assistants like Alexa, all in the name of doing things on his own, despite being blind since birth. But something as simple as reading a comic book or finding the split pea soup among all the other cans in the pantry, until recently, that just seemed impossible. So when Higson talks about the time he assembled a piece of furniture with IKEA-style pictorial directions, it's as if he scaled a mountain. He did it wearing Era, a camera-enabled set of glasses that beams his field of view to someone who can see, as if to momentarily borrow their eyesight. Era launched 6 months ago and counts about 400 blind or vision-impaired subscribers. They use the service mostly for help with ordinary tasks, reading a handwritten note, navigating the grocery store, checking when the milk in the fridge expires, and sometimes extraordinary ones, like when this April a blind man tapped into Era to run the Boston Marathon. One woman regularly calls it to read comic books out loud to her son. Others use the service to take photos good enough to share with friends. It's a way to make any visual information available that was never available before. Right now, Era's customers share their video streams with people. Era calls them agents who work on a model like Uber, with the ability to log on, pick up a user's call, and get paid for the hours they work. But in the future, Era's founders hope to offload most of that work to artificial intelligence, the same technology that powers computer vision projects at Google and Facebook, and even Pinterest could one day tell Higson where he left his house keys, or read the street signs at an intersection, or even recognize which of his friends are in the room. One day, computer vision could give the blind more information about their environment than any sighted person could see with the naked eye. And it's all coming thanks to a new class of wearable devices. The service runs on a subscription model like a prepaid mobile phone plan for $129 a month. A blind customer gets 200 minutes with an agent. $199 gets them 400 minutes and a guarantee that an agent will pick up within 10 seconds. Right now, Era isn't a replacement for accessibility tools like white canes, but it can give blind users more autonomy and help solve the last 50-foot problem, in that blind people can use GPS to find their way around, but then get stuck trying to find the doorway to a building. Whether the agent is human or AI, he says, that kind of knowledge could be huge. Other wearables use light and magnification to assist people with limited vision. A device called eSight, which users wear like a VR headset and is totally version 1 of Geordi's visor in Star Trek, uses a high-resolution camera to magnify images and then project them onto an OLED screen in front of the user's eyes. You see, only about 15% of the visually impaired population is totally blind. For everyone else, devices like eSight help enhance some of the vision that's left. And because it's a wearable, Mech says you eliminate the cost and risk of surgery. All you have to do is put it on, and you know within seconds whether or not it works for you. Higson, like many others in the blind community, already relies on his Amazon Echo for audio dictation tasks like making grocery lists. Wouldn't it be cool if he could share those lists with Era and then use the glasses, whether powered by AI or a human guide, to help him through the grocery store, telling him where to find each item in each aisle? It's a future within view. For now, though, Higson talks about all that he can do already, like scanning the information on a business card or finding his way around a crowded conference hall thanks to assistive technology.